Hello guys, today is gonna be a different kind of video, but it's still the Dream Run bosses. What I've been doing over the past week is collecting the best Reinier teams on all the bosses. So you will see clips from all the bosses. I will do one fight in every boss, and they were pre-recorded from the entire week that's been. So you will see a difference in like resonance levels and so on. But I won't be showing like Mythic Charms and all that stuff. And I will just show you one team on each boss, and it's one fight as well. And some of them I will just show you after the fight, like in the bottom left, what the record is, because I didn't wanna waste a lot of attempts just going over and over until I got a new record again. And here we have the first attempt, and that's Alpha Bear, and that's actually recorded today, so this is the most up to date you will see. And after this attempt I will also go in and show you my Mythic Charms so you can compare. I won't do that for all the bosses because I didn't think of doing it at the time, but I want to show it now so you can like compare it as much as possible now. And as you can see, Merrily did the most amount of damage, and then Corin. And here it also works if you do a foreign. It doesn't do as much damage, but you could use a foreign instead as well. So let's just jump in quickly, show you some of the team that's been using the most. I think these are the major
What's up? Looking for me?
the major part of the team I can show you. Merrily got a Mythic set bonus right now.
Huh?
Corin only got legendary. He got 2 Mythic Charms.
Oh.
Odie wasn't used in this attempt, but he's fully equipped. And this is what I've been using for the past week as well, I believe.
Perfect.
Reinier is fully equipped as well, so he got the Mythic set bonus. Thorin only gotten 1 so far. And I think that's the only one I had for the entire week as well. And then my Smokey is fully equipped as well. So he got the Mythic set bonus as well. I was thinking, I wonder if there's another hero I need to show off. I don't believe so. Now I will just go through the rest of the fight. So up next we have Skyclops, and this I actually did a couple of attempts before I decided to go with this recording. It's the highest I got, and I actually got higher before on another attempt. But this setup is a bit of a gamble, you can say, because sometimes they die a bit early and sometimes they survive, depending on how much the boss crit and so on, and the damage dealt. So you might want to swap out maybe Odie or Corin for Thorin and use Thorin and Soul Pact instead, or as well, so you can survive a bit better. Because I had to make a couple of attempts, like I stated earlier, and it wasn't that consistent, sadly. So you might wanna, if you don't have the survivability, you might get a better or more consistent attempts if you do a Thorin instead. That way you have a bit more survivability, and because Merrily ended up dying a bit early sometimes, and the Corin times, or even the Odie, kind of depended. So that's something you might want to have in mind. As you can see, the damage here, almost 37 billion damage. And here we have King Croaker. This team was a bit more consistent than the last team I showed for Skyclops. It's nothing special about it. It's the Merrily Corin combo, and they're dealing 2 damage Thoran is just tanking and making sure the rest of the team survives long enough to deal damage. And you need Thoran because it's King Croaker and he has his bubble with the one-shot mechanic. I didn't have any survivability issues on this. It's just like you need a Thoran to be revived 3 times and blocking all those magic bubbles that one-shots. I think might have some issues now that I'm thinking about it with Smokey dying sometimes, or sometimes the Merely getting one shot just randomly because she became the target when Thoran died here, and she became the target like right now, and then she got the bubble or the big splash on her as well, so that was an issue. And here you can see I dealt 36.6 billion damage. It's a really solid team and I can highly recommend it. Corin and Merely actually dealing the same amount of damage basically, and they're really strong. And now on to Necro. In here I tested around a lot of teams actually. It was quite fun, and I actually ended up with 3 tank setup. And I think it worked out great. It was just a little bit inconsistent at times, but I enjoy this. Like find this strategy because you have the increased damage taken from Thoran, you have the haste and increased damage dealt from Lucius 50 seconds into fight, so it should be happening right now. And then you have Temesia, who increases physical damage taken with her season ability. So it's actually quite fun, and I actually had the survivability with just Reinier as the solo support. And this team actually happened because of Smokey isn't enough to heal through this fight, and Smokey won't have the healings later on anyways, so I just went more and more aggressive. You can see here Merely dealt the most damage. And here in the bottom left you can see the most damage I dealt with this setup in another attempt, of course. And the second to last boss is Stomper that we're gonna go through today. And here we still need a bit of a defensive setup with Thoran. And the struggle sometimes with this setup is that if Merely gets stuck, basically no one else retargets. If she's close to Thoran, Thoran will go up and attack. But I had so many inconsistency with them changing targets. That's the only annoying part with Stomper. That you gotta make sure that it's always like the Odie getting frozen. Sometimes when Merely crit a lot or dealt a lot of damage in the beginning, she actually became frozen instead. And that was a huge problem because Corin doesn't change target, Odie doesn't change target, and if she's too far away from Thoran, Thoran doesn't change target either because it's too far away. At least that happened to me sometimes. Let me know if that happened to you guys as well, because I'm not sure, because that just happens sometimes and it's really strange. And sometimes they all retarget. I don't know what is going on with that. And here you can see the best attempt I had. Was a bit inconsistent, but that's the best attempt I had. And here we have the last boss, Lone Gaze. And I actually tried out some different lineups here, but I ended up going back to the Thoran because sometimes the Reinier died a bit early or died at all, and that's an issue because Lone Gaze get buffed when heroes dies. So I had to take a step back and put in Thoran. Maybe when my residence level gets even higher or my Mythic Charms become even better, I can go in and put in someone else. Maybe a Corin or another, maybe Lucius, for example. But for now, I couldn't do that, and if you're having the same problem, I recommend doing the same thing as well. Just making sure that Thoran is connected or soul pacted with Reinier, so Reinier doesn't die early, because having a hero die early in Lone Gaze is devastating because he becomes buffed. So that's not good. But the team overall was consistent once I put in the foreign instead. And you can actually see this attempt is a PB. So that's really nice. And it was after I swapped from Lucius, I believe. Or I had Cording before. I hope you enjoyed this format, and I'm gonna try and start releasing more free-to-play friendly content instead on Dream Run bosses and alternative setups. You can go there depending on what route you've gone in when it comes to summoning and what heroes you've gone for. Please give me some feedback in the comments down below about what you liked, what you didn't like about the video. I know probably a few of you will dislike the fact that I didn't show the resonance and Mythic Charms on all of them. I realized that might be an issue, and in the future I might do an updated version where I show that as well, but I didn't have it recorded at the time, and I realized it after doing it for like days that it would have been good to do it, and I didn't want to do it all over again. It's a lot of work and takes up a decent amount of time. But as always, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.